Backlog management is obviously a critical challenge for all support organizations. And when you're trying to understand your backlog as a manager, it's really important to know where you need to focus on, where you need to start. And SupportLogic allows you to create a variety of views within the backlog, within our backlog page, based on a combination of our sentiment as well as the metadata that already lives on your cases. And so what you want to do when you're thinking in terms of backlog, right? You want to think of use cases for how you want to zero in and focus on specific types of cases. So let's give an example there, right? When you're first setting up SupportLogic, we give you some default lists, right? Sentiment score, attention score, case age, and unreplied cases. But these are looking at every single one of these lists has all of your current backlog cases in them. So we need to start filtering to make sure that we're looking at the cases that we want to focus on. So I'm a manager and I want to understand across the cases that my team is handling, when I'm starting off here, maybe I want to look at the cases that are Sev 1 first, right? Or high priority first. The first thing I'm going to do is create a list specifically for that. So the option that is available to me, I'll click create a new list on the side here. I'll go high severity cases. I'll go ahead and hit next, and you'll see that I have the option to leverage all of the case metadata that I have for filtering this list, right? So any custom fields that are available to me, case age, right? Inactivity, all of these things allow me to create a much more targeted view of the cases that I want to look at first. So if I go ahead and click severity here, I have this option for high severity. I click next. And the next thing I do is I choose a sorting mechanism, right? So maybe across those high severity cases, I want to understand and sort them based on the sentiment score. So which customers out of those high severity cases, which ones are the customers most upset or most frustrated on, right? Because maybe that's how I want to tackle these, right? Start with the ones that have the lowest sentiment score. So if I go ahead and hit create here, all right, now I have a list of high severity cases sorted by sentiment score. And I can see that this customer, the Arizona Cardinals, they actually have the lowest sentiment score on their case, on this case that's listed here. And so maybe I'll start with that one and quickly click into it and determine if there's something that I can do to drive this case towards a better outcome, right? Do I need to get my team members swarming in on it? Do I need to just nudge the agent to make them focus on it? Variety of different things that I can do. Do I need to reply to the customer myself and just let them know that we're taking it very seriously? This is the power of backlog lists because I can choose which cases I'm going to focus on first as I'm starting my day. So that's one use case. Another use case here. So we looked at high severity cases, right? One of the other very common issues with managing your backlog is stale cases. It's so easy for cases to slip through the cracks a little bit, right? And when that happens, a lot of times these cases are clogging up your backlog when they could have been closed out. They're clogging up your agent's backlogs and preventing new cases even from being assigned to them. They're giving a false picture of productivity as well as bandwidth. So let's create another backlog list to help us spot stale cases. I'll go ahead and hit create list. I'm going to say cases inactive greater than, let's say, 5 days. Or I believe it is 7 days. Right. I'll jump to the next page here and allows me to choose the relevant metadata for filtering. Right. So let's look at, I have inactivity here. Looks like the breakdown is actually in increments of 5, and that's okay because SupportLogic makes it super easy to jump back and make any changes to what you've already created. So greater than 5 days, I'll go with, so I have 5 to 10 and greater than 10. So that gives me all cases that have been inactive for greater than 5 days. Let's jump to next. I can give this, what I'm going to do is sort this by last outbound message. And the reason I like last outbound message is it lets me know when the last message was sent to this customer by a member of my team. So I hit create, and now I have a list of cases that have been inactive for greater than 5 days. And it's also sorting them by when the last message went out to them. Now, right now, I'm looking at this sort in descending order, but let's look at it the other way. So here are some cases that have been inactive for, this one, obviously 4 years is a long time. I think more likely in your own backlog or environment, maybe you'll come across cases that have been inactive for 15 days, 30 days, maybe 6 months, right? But these cases are clogging up your backlog. And this gives me the opportunity to quickly go in and be like, okay, this case should be closed already, right? And then I can close it out. And then I have room to assign new cases to members of my team and reduce my backlog further. So it's a great opportunity to spot stale cases and get your team moving forward and working on new cases as quickly as possible.